Okay, and after all these problems, I think I finally have it um, streaming. Well, maybe it ran through that. Oh, there we go. Okay, I need to silence this. Okay, all right. I'm processing. Um, I'm processing Thor's helmet, and I was doing a live stream. Had it all set up last night. I tried it out last night. Everything worked just like it's supposed to. And then tonight it didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and run through this, and we'll see what happens. All right, I'm doing Thor's helmet Nebula. I've got about 18 hours worth of data. I've already got it stacked and processed, and this is it here. I did all that through the batch processing script. It's weighted batch pre-processing. I did all that, so end up with this. Now this doesn't look like much. It's just black. So I'm going to do a temporary stretch, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of ugly. It's got a lot of green in it. That's stretching all of the channels the same. If I do an unlinked stretch, where it's kind of making up for the different channels, all three channels, then it will look like this. This is closer to what it's going to end up looking like. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run Blur Exterminator. I'm going to do automatic PSF, and I'm going to go ahead and run it. This is going to take just a little bit, maybe a couple minutes, and while it's doing that, I'll talk about other stuff. I take all these pictures of things out in space, nebulas and galaxies and planets, stars, and I believe that there is a grand design. Everything's designed. This didn't just happen. Everybody talks about the Big Bang theory, and there's problems with it. You have this singularity that exploded and flung everything out, and it all formed into stars and planets and stuff like that. And there's stuff that's so far away that for it to get there, if it traveled at the speed of light and it got there, and hang on, we're done with the Blur Exterminator. So now I'm going to, what Blur Exterminator does, if you look at these stars, they're a little bit smaller than what they were. I'll go back. If you see them get a little bit smaller, it kind of sharpens everything up. It makes stars that are not quite round, makes them round. and it shrinks the stars. What is called deconvolution. It shrinks the stars down, makes it look better. So now I'm going to run. Where is that? There it is. It's spectrometric color calibration. And I used a filter when I took these pictures. I used the Optilong L Extreme. So I need to change all these. Okay. And then I'm just going to click this button here where it says apply. And it's going to do it. It'll take just a little bit. It won't take too long. But anyway, so everything flung out there, and there's stuff that is billions of light years away. So traveling at the speed of light would take billions of years to get there. Okay? But if something is out there, oh, we're done. See all these green dots? That is, we want them close to this line right here. And they are pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to close that. And we're going to restretch it. And you might not see a whole lot of difference between this and what I had before, but there's a little bit of a difference. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to open the dynamic background extraction, and I'm going to change this. I'm going to leave the tolerance at 2. I'm going to change this to the shadows relaxation to 3. I'm going to change the default sample radius to 20. And I'm going to change samples per row to 20. I'm going to generate. See all these little squares with the X's in them? It's taking samples every place where there's one. And if you look in the corners, there's no little squares there until I put them there. If I would have raised this tolerance up, it would have got those. These corners have vignetting, and that's what we're trying to eliminate. That we're trying to eliminate the gradient. If you look down across the bottom, there's a gradient. It's lighter down here than it is up here, and then the corners are lighter. We're trying to eliminate that. What we don't want to eliminate is the nebula. So I'm going to remove these samples from where the nebula is at. I don't know why it does that. It jumped from, instead of going straight down, it jumped over. All right, get those out. I think I'm going to take this one out too. It's pretty close to the nebula. If I get outside the nebula a little bit, it doesn't hurt anything. So, oops, see it jumped over here again. Instead of going straight down like it should, let's see, it jumped over again. Oops. There we go. Oh, jumping over. Okay, only got a few more to take out, and then we can run the background extraction. Okay, that looks pretty good. I don't have any of the samples around the nebula. So then I need to come down here to the correction type, and I'm going to subtract it. I'm going to normalize it. I'm I was going to discard the background, but I want to show you what we took out, what we subtracted. And this will take just a few seconds, really. Anyway, this ain't gonna let me talk. This should be, I'll show you this first. This is the background. And, oh, I was wrong. This is the background. That's what it took out. That is what it subtracted. And now if you look at this, the gradient's almost completely gone. It won't even, that won't show up at all whenever I do it. And the corners look good. So now I'm going to close this with the red X. I'm going to close the original picture. I'm just going to say, are you sure you want to close it? Yeah, I want to close it. So now here we are. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. That is cool. Now, if you look at this, it looks like Thor's helmet. There's the round part. There's one ear, and there's the other ear. It looks like Thor's helmet. So now we've got it. We I ran Burke's Terminator and made the stars smaller. We ran the color calibration, and we've run the background extraction. So now I'm going to take the stars out, and I'm going to generate a star image, and this will take a little bit longer, but it's worth it, the large overlap. I'm going to run that, and this will take a few minutes. So anyway, the planet, or the galaxy stuff, the universe stuff, got flung out. It's billions of light years away, but it can't be out there to the edge of the universe, and the light coming back, that would make it twice as old as the universe is, according to science. So they had to come up with a solution, and they come up with a theory called the theory of inflation, which says that when the Big Bang happened, things were flung out there so fast, faster than the speed of light. It has to be. They got almost where they're at in just in a fraction of a second. So all this stuff traveled billions of light years in just a fraction of a second. There's some things wrong with that. One is what slowed it down, because even though the universe is expanding, it's not going at that speed anymore. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. There we go. So now we got stars, and it's kind of, that don't look real good, because we'll take care of that. So I'm going to turn off the temporary stretching. I'm going to, well, first, I'm going to change the name here to just stars. Okay. Now I'm going to just kind of put this off to the side a little bit. And you can see this don't look good. It's ugly. I'm going to run Noise Exterminator on it now. And it's really going to get ugly here in a minute. I'm going to click on the apply button. And this will take just a little bit. So anyway, they come up with the main theory of inflation, saying that this stuff was flung out there in just seconds. And but there's nothing in space to stop it. What slowed it all down? Because it's not going that fast anymore. It may be expanding, but it's not going that fast anymore. Okay, that's done. So now, that looks a little bit better now. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shoot. I did the wrong thing. That's one thing about this program that is kind of a pain in the butt. I minimized that, put it down there at the bottom, but it's still active. I needed to do it on this one. So I'm going to bring noise exterminator back up, run it again. So here we go. So anyway, that's one of the things that's a big problem with the theory of the Big Bang. Now, I do believe that there was nothing, and then all of a sudden there was something. I believe that actually happened. But I don't think that it happened the way that scientists are saying it. Okay, here we go. Man, that got ugly. Well, let's re-stretch it and see what it looks like now. Oh, man, that's ugly. Oh, now, we're going to fix that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to open histogram transformation. And come down here to the preview. Click on that. It opens up another window here. And then I'm going to click this little check mark down here at the bottom. And that will show me the light, where the light's at in this top window. So I'm going to bring this over. Like so. And you start seeing up there at the top, you see that starting to move over. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I know there's nothing really showing on the screen yet. Oh, there. Now you can see up here, we got this spike. That's the light. That's mainly that nebula right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave everything the way it is and apply it again. And there's the nebula. And look, this spike is way over here. We want this back here, but we want this to stretch out. So I'm going to reset this. I'm going to bring this light up, and it's moving the whole thing. Then I'm going to bring the blacks back about there. I want a gap here, not much, just a little bit of a gap. I'm going to apply that. Okay. If you see, that's starting to stretch this out, but it's really kind of ugly looking. I'm going to reset that. I'm going to bring this light back up. I'm going to bring the darks up or down, however you want to look at it, and about right there. Okay. Now, if you notice, there's still, I'm going to reset this, there's still a lot of green in there. So I'm going to run SCNR, and that's going to remove a lot of green. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. I'm going to close that. I'm going to go ahead and close the histogram transformation. I'm going to open up curves. You need to hit the preview button again. Even though that window's still there, if you don't hit that, you won't see what you're doing. So I'm going to, there's your channels. I'm going to put a little spot right here. I'm going to put a spot right here, and I'm going to bring this up. And if you notice, it's bringing up the nebula, but it's not bringing up the background so much. I'm going to apply that That's all I'm going to do with that. I'm going to reset that. I'm going to bring up the saturation. That's over here. We'll bring this up. Bring those colors out. That looks pretty good. That's kind of ugly. So I'm going to reset that. I'm going to bring it up a little bit, just a little bit, right there. Apply that. I'm going to reset it. I'm going to come to the C component of CIE. That's some coloring. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. That brings out the blues a little bit more. Brings out the reds a little bit. So, there we go. Now, that is as far as I'm going with that part of the nebula. So there we've got a starless nebula. Now we need to bring up the stars. So I'm going to take off the stretch. I'm going to bring up histogram. Bring up the preview. Hit the little check mark down here. And I'm going to start bringing the stars up. Starting to see a few stars there, and then now there's more. That looks pretty good. I think I'm just going to apply that again. And there, I think that looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to run, if you look, some of these stars look a little greenish. So I'm going to run the SCNR. And take out the green again. Now those stars look better. They're bluish and white, no green. So now I'm done with, let's see, I might need to hit the apply again. Yeah, I need to hit the apply again to get those stars. See, that's way too much. Okay. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take off the real, I can get me close that. I'm going to bring up the curves. Bring up the preview. Bring up the check mark. And I'm going to go back here to saturation. And I'm going to bring up saturation. I want a little more color to the start. That looks pretty good. We got little red ones, blue ones, orangish colored ones. There's an orange one there. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. That would be too much. So I like the way it looks. It's right there. So now I've got a star image and I've got a starless image. I'm going to rename this to starless. And I'm going to come up here to the script, and come down here to utilities, come over here to reintegrate stars. And then I got to select my star image and my starless image. I'm going to use screen. I think that'll work. I'm going to name this Thor's helmet. Now, if you notice, I didn't use an apostrophe and I didn't have a space there. If you put apostrophe or use a space in there, it's going to complain. So you might as well just not do it because you'll get complaints and it won't do it. So now we're going to do this, and there is the image. and that is a finished end. That I like that. That looks really good. I could maybe do some curved stuff here. Go back to this and bring up preview. I'm gonna bring up a little spot right there. I'm gonna bring this. That ain't really making anything doing with it. Maybe if I bring this over, I bring it over. I get right there. I got the little thing to show where my cursor's at. It's kind of hiding what I'm looking for. Well, let's do this. If I can get it back now. So I cannot get it. Trying to get that little. If you look right there, right above that ball, there's a little dot there. Oh, okay. That's not what I'm wanting to do. But that don't look too bad. What I was trying to do is just bring this edge over. I like that. I like that. I think I'm going to apply that. And we'll call it. I like you can see some of the reddish dust background here. The sky isn't black. I know you go outside, you look up, and it looks black, but it's not. It's kind of a grayish color. And there's dust and everything else out there. Did you see right here? There's dust right there along these edges. I wonder. Let me try. I'm going to try one more thing. Toolbox. No, utilities. Dark structures and ants. Let's see what this does. Okay. I don't think it really did much of anything. Let's see. I'll go back. Yeah, it did a little bit. Yeah, that'll be good. I like it. So now there it is. There's Thor's helmet. There is my processing techniques, some of them. I'm going to be doing a lot more. I'm planning on every Wednesday night doing some processing or maybe some imaging. I'm going to try some different things. You may see some really ugly stuff come from me. Uh, if I mess up, you'll get to see it. So let me close these down. Yes. And I'm going to save this one. File. Save that. And I need to go. All right. Now I always save it as an XISF. Now here you can put the apostrophe in base. So I'm going to do that. And I already processed this once, so I'm going to name it just a little bit different. Thor's Helmet 2, and save it. And then I'm going to save it as a JPEG also, because you can't use an XISF on Facebook or just about anything. But the XISF saves all of the data, where JPEG is it's not there's loss in it. So it's going to ask me, are you sure you want to do that? Because it's not so good. And then quality, I always set to 100. And save it. There it is. Okay, so come back next Wednesday, and 7 o'clock East Central Time, and whatever happens to be, whether it's daylight saving time or standard time, it's going to be Central Time, 7 o'clock every Wednesday. So, come back and we can talk a little bit more, and you can see me process some stuff, maybe even mess up. All right.